Hey, Gemini, welcome to your November reading. I'm Madeleine, very excited to have you. So, we're going to get right into what the story is for your month, where you are in that story, and after we pull some tarot cards, we'll close off the reading by pulling a couple of cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to get a little guidance from Spirit. So, how you feeling coming off that lunar eclipse in Taurus, huh? If you're a Gemini rising in particular, then you felt that in your 12th house, the house of endings, the house of unfinished business, any, kind of spiritual skeletons in the closet, things that are dissolving. And it is Scorpio season, the season of the dissolve. So I'm curious what you might be choosing to dissolve on purpose this month, Gemini. That's what Spirit is having me ask you. So share it if you like. I would love to hear it. And if nothing else, think about it. Consider it. Put some real intention into that. It's like if it is a season for dissolve, let me at least be a little intentional about what it is that's going to go away. The skin that I'm going to shed, what I'm growing into. Interesting. Let's see how this comes into the cards because Spirit is already talking. So the month of November, Spirit for Gemini. We want to know their story. And we want to know where they land in their story. How they're showing up. Wow. How they're showing up. Love to see it. Okay. All right. A few more, please, Spirit. How they're showing up. What you want them to know. For their highest good, Spirit. What's going on with Gemini? My Gemini sun, moon, rising, and dominant friends. In the month of November. What themes are showing up? What helpful or hindering influences are present, Spirit? What does Gemini need to know to find fulfillment, peace, joy, abundance, authenticity this month? I want to help bring them into alignment with their highest good, Spirit. What do you want to share with them in that honor? Perfect. Got a couple bonus cards, Gemini. I'm hearing over and over again that change. I mean, hello, we just talked about Scorpio season and shedding skins, but Spirit is saying change is going to be one of the themes, like as in making literal transitions, and that the mutable quality of your sign, mutable meaning adaptable, meaning I can shift with the circumstances, I can make things work. I know, specifically with you, Gemini, it's like I know a little bit about a lot. So you put me in any situation, I'm going to have a little bit of intel to be able to work off of that not everybody will. So I'm kind of hearing, it's really funny. Spirit is drawing my attention. Across the street, out my window, there's a rainstorm happening. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not. And there's all this rain pouring down. I see people rushing back and forth, people trying to stay dry. I see, a squirrel running across and trying to climb into a tree to find a little bit of shelter. But the birds are having a great time. For the birds, they're all over the ground enjoying the fact that the water brings up, the worms, the bugs, everything that they like to eat, the rain sends right up. So if the rain comes, be the bird. Maybe don't run around trying to avoid getting wet. Maybe be like, what is this bringing up for me? Oh my God. Okay. Spirit's already going. We're already punny. All right. I love the way that Spirit talks all the time through everything. Wow. So I shuffled this back in to be like, okay, where do they want to show us this? But of course, Spirit was like, bitch, I told you where I wanted it, right front and center of your spread, how you're showing up as the King of Swords. And don't worry, I will throw your cards right up here in just a second so you can see what I'm looking at. Transitions. Night card. Beautiful. Okay. You're facing your fears. Facing some fears this month, Gemini. And I want to say that with the proper assistance, with the proper orientation, it looks like you come out very well. Facing our fears sounds obviously a little fucking scary. And, what is it about being on this fucking earth that there is something around hey, the thing that I want most is over the darkest, scariest, tallest gate. Okay. And that's what Spirit is saying, is there is a sense of peace, serenity, mastery, fulfillment, security. You can see all of this is available, but you have to face your fears and your emotions to get it. And I think that's more the part, is like, it's the deep unconscious. Listen, we just talked about Taurus lunar eclipse in your house of endings. The 12th house is the Pisces house. The moon is the Pisces card. Facing up to things that are, okay. I love this rendition of the moon. We have these ladies dancing on the shore. They are wearing masks. Now, behind them, almost, quite spooky looking, is their own self, their own shadow self sneaking up on them. And if they don't become aware, if they don't lift up that mask, turn around and look, they're going to get taken by surprise, and they might feel like they're being, dragged down into the waters of their emotions, right? But if they choose to lift up that mask, turn, and not just see that self, but invite that self up onto the shore and say, hey, we're dancing. Do you want to dance? There's abundance and inspiration and all the things that you see in your future here available for you. What do you need to face up to? What have you been holding back from? Where has an insecurity kept you from going forward with something you really want, you really desire? And I want to say, Gemini, can you set yourself free from having to do it right or perfect? Because that seems to be a big holdup for you. I can see you've put in the work. I can see you have something of value, skills, knowledge. This is interesting. Spirit is saying applications. So some of y'all might be like coding or creating applications or working on that, developing that. I don't know, but I see you working hard on it. And I see past, future, I see it going places. And Spirit is saying there's a fundamental parallel between self-worth, net worth, um, how secure we feel on the inside and how secure we experience the outer world. And Queen of Pentacles is sitting in the position of what is going on inside or in your inner world. Queen of Pentacles, you might be, Gemini, in a way that you haven't until this moment, be recognizing and accepting and resting in your value. And you know what? Contrary to popular belief, that can be scary. You know what I mean? Shout it out if you know what I'm talking about. It can be scary to not go into our old coping mechanisms of, false modesty. And Spirit is saying that. So don't shoot the messenger. It's just what I'm hearing. Like false modesty and saying, like, no, I'm okay. I don't really need anything and stuff like that. That's not it. You've worked hard for it. You deserve. Face any fears that you have. Perhaps some of them are deeply rooted in, like, well, it wasn't really accepted for me to be confident or be forthright in my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? We have these things that we have to work through that aren't even necessarily part of our conscious, everyday, in the present moment experience. Spirit is saying, some of you go numb when things get a little too emotionally heightened. No blame, no shame, no judgment. We don't do that here. It's just, if that resonates with you, Spirit wants you to notice it. And when it comes up, just acknowledge it. You don't have to change it, nothing like that. The first step is just to go, oh, okay, this is, what that weird lady on the internet was talking about. Like, I can feel myself in this conversation with this, person, this emotionally intense conversation or confrontational or whatever it is. I can feel myself going numb. I can feel myself kind of leaving my body, because in the past, it was not safe for me to remain in my body through such an emotional or intense moment. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all will know what I'm talking about. Great moment to remind you, these are general readings. So some of them will resonate, like aspects of it will resonate, others won't. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. It's for some other Gemini. Don't get hung up on it, definitely, because you are showing up as the King of Swords, master of your mind. What, like, smart, well spoken, good on paper. Spirit is using all of these words. A leader as well, and a thought leader when you're the King of Swords. Kings having very little to do with gender and sex and everything to do with personality type. A doer, Gemini. You were showing up as a doer this month. Now, the only thing is that the King of Swords is probably the least savvy king to walk the landscape of the moon. It's like, this doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. No, it's not rational. No, it's not logical. But it's here and it exists and it is real. Just because it is illogical or irrational doesn't make it real. It doesn't really make a whole lot of fucking sense that the moon pulls the tides of the ocean like hundreds of thousands or whatever it is miles away, but so it is. So it is. And so it is that affects, the literal hormonal cycles of more than half of the people on the planet. It's irrational, it's illogical, and so it is. There's an integration happening between your thoughts and your emotions, or at least that is available, Gemini. This is a deep reading. In the potential, Six of Swords, moving forward, navigating the waters, but in your own swordsy way. Where when I say integrating of emotions, it's like we can analyze the emotions and kind of cut them up and look at them, King of Swords things of like, yeah, I can see why, I have abandonment issues because, my dad and whatever, the blah, 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 blah. Right? That can make sense. That doesn't heal the wound. It's like, I see your wound, and it was definitely, like a forensics report where it's like, oh yeah, that was, blunt force trauma to your heart. And now, you can't do heart. I don't know why Spirit is putting it this. You know what I'm saying? Now there's actually availability for integration, not just, oh, okay, I can see where the wound is and what caused it, but I can now pull out the sword and I don't need to now carry around the wound with me. I can carry like, oh, okay, so because I have, let's say again, abandonment wounds, I really need to be with people who are have a secure attachment style. I mean, listen, talk about having a heady approach to emotions, but hey, that's you. So it's like, okay, I need to be with someone who is securely attached or is working on becoming securely attached because I can't deal with feeling like I'm being abandoned by somebody or whatever, right? That's like the difference between like I'm triggered every time I think I'm being abandoned and letting everybody around me know the kind of support that I need so that I don't have to go through that moment, or that if I do begin to go through that moment, I have the people and the resources, even if not the people, the self-help, the whatever, to be able to nurse myself through that moment, which is the method of integration. It's like integrating your emotions or understanding why something happened doesn't make it never get triggered again. Integrating it means the next time it gets triggered, it's a little less bad. And then the next time it gets triggered, it's a little less bad than that. And so on and so on and so on until it's like, oh, wow, I remember when this shit used to shake me apart and give me maybe an anxiety attack or something like that, or, a spiral moment. And now I'm actually able to get myself back to, Spirit is using the word titrate for those of you who know it. I'm able to like bring myself slowly, easily back into alignment or ease or etc. And a lot of that has to do with knowing your value. That whether or not somebody abandons you, disappoints you, likes your work and sees it and appreciates it or not, that is not a determining factor about your worth or your security. You know what I'm saying? So your worth needs to be tied to your security. How well I'm doing, not how well they think I'm doing. There is someone around who's a wonderful ally in your aim, a King of Cups, someone who is, so who is this for you, Gemini? The King of Cups is someone who is, again, you don't have to worry about sex and gender. Think more about what kind of person this is and who leaps to mind. Somebody who is like a very natural counselor, therapist, psychologist. They might literally be in a healing profession, or they might just be the person who is really good at holding space for other people and like helping them process those emotions, not intellectually, but emotionally and in the body. Like, wow, that sounds really hard. Can you tell me more about that? And letting you actually like have, kind of re-experience what you've been going through, but in a safe place with a safe person. And therefore, the response that your body is having begins to morph and change because it realizes that it's not going to be blamed or thrown out or ashamed for having an experience and expressing something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Damn. Wow, Gemini. Okay. So I see you facing your fears. I see you walking right up to, because sitting in the future, the devil, followed by the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So seeing the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands on the other side of this gives me a lot of hope. The devil is not evil. The devil is not some terrible thing. The devil is old habits die hard. The devil is, what, yeah, you're telling me to leave my, numbing mechanism behind or whatever, but it's the numbing that helps me and takes care of me and makes me feel safe. Those are like devilish things where it's not that it's horrible and bad and you're horrible and bad. No, but it doesn't allow you to grow. It doesn't allow you to become more of yourself. It facilitates you being less of yourself. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where the same thing is like imbibing a substance can like make you help you be less of yourself, and that can be connected to the devil. Anything taken to an extreme or an unhealthy place. You know what I'm talking about? Spirit says something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This person who can help you facilitate your emotions, that's a great person to come to when you are feeling devilish. Okay, whether that for some of you could be a partner, counselor, mentor, coach, whatever. I see you choosing to move toward health, and more than health, like passion, excitement, fulfillment. And maybe after a period of feeling a little bit like a workhorse. So for some of you, that's going to resonate. Like, yes, I'm finally wanting to get excited about something again, and I'm beginning to feel like things could actually go really well for me. And they can. 10 of Pentacles, security of all kinds. It's, of course, financial. We love to see it. 10 of Pentacles, steady job, steady income, steady home. That's the other thing. It's like the strong roots, protective structures, feeling safe and feeling part of a family. Chosen, blood, whatever, but feeling like part of a unit and feeling joyful about it. And on the other side of that, Ace of Wands, when you feel safe and secure, new inspirations and like Spirit is saying inspired action. So it's like, if I haven't known what to do, the worst thing to do is be like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I don't know what to do. The best thing is to take care of yourself so that when you can actually breathe, these new ideas, this inspired action will come in. So it's not like, okay, let me figure out how to make the thing happen despite how I feel. It's let me check in with how I feel and get that right, and then I will have inspired action to make the thing happen. You feel me? The key/conclusion, another night, another card of transition and change. Gemini, open your heart, even just to yourself. Open up to your emotions. Be sweet, be vulnerable. Start with you. And then if there are other people, highly recommend that you want to share that with, that you know for sure can hold space for you and be sweet to you as you face the more difficult or frightening or unconscious aspects of yourself. You're going to undergo a transformation. You're going to head to brighter, clearer, safer, warmer days. I love to see it. Okay. Let's pull a couple cards to cap this off from the Star Codes Astro Oracle. So, Spirit, knowing where Gemini is in their story, in this chapter, the one and only November 2023, what do you want to offer Gemini to help support them in this journey? What advice or guidance do you want to offer Gemini? Wow. How straightforward is that? So your first card is Taurus with the keyword cultivate. And then we have the conjunction cultivate alliance. Look at you going with a flock. Cultivate alliance. Cultivate alliance. Who is it that is on your level who can help you? You trust this person's mind, you trust this person's heart. Spirit is saying they feel right to you. Trust whoever that is. They feel right. Well, cultivate an alliance. And not just hello, and not just with that King of Cups, with people who feel that way generally. Okay? You deserve. Thank you for being here, Gemini. I hope that this is helpful for you, and I hope that I will see you in next week's reading. Bye-bye.